Good morning, April 2nd of 2012. I want to talk about something which is very, very timely in terms of credit reporting and also in terms of debt collection. A lot of people in California and actually all throughout the country, a lot of consumers over the last 2 or 3 years have declared bankruptcy. The economy went bad, they lost their jobs, they had job cutbacks, their mortgages doubled and tripled, any number of reasons that people have had to declare bankruptcy, either Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, over the last few years. A lot of consumers now are coming out of bankruptcy. They've declared the bankruptcy, they've wiped out their past debts, they're moving on with their lives. But let me tell you something which is not letting them move on the way they should. The whole idea about a bankruptcy, and particularly a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, is that it's supposed to give the consumers a fresh start. They're supposed to be able to wipe out most of their debts. They can't get rid of tax debt, they can't get rid of federally backed student loans, but they can get rid of most of their debts in bankruptcy. They're supposed to get a fresh start. They're supposed to be on their way with a fresh start in life. However, a lot of creditors and a lot of debt collectors and even the credit bureaus don't update the credit reporting to give people a fresh start, and this is very detrimental. If you have a pre-bankruptcy petition debt, let's say you owe $5,000 to a Visa card. I'm just using that hypothetically. All right. You include that in your bankruptcy. Now, let's say you file the bankruptcy on, let's say, April 1st of 2020, or let's not use today's date. Let's use it a year ago. Let's say April 1st of 2011. And let's say that's when you file your bankruptcy, and a few months later, sometime around June, July, or August, you would have a discharge of that debt. So let's say the discharge occurs, let's say it occurs on September 1st. All right. Starting on September 2nd, for all debts that you have discharged in bankruptcy, when you pull your credit report, it should say, included in bankruptcy, account balance 0, because particularly for a Chapter 7, you have wiped out that debt. Included in bankruptcy, account balance 0. Unfortunately, what we have is we have creditors who are lazy or sometimes malicious, who don't update the credit reporting, so they'll show that you're still very late on your debt. You've had debt collectors that have an incentive not to update the credit reporting because they're the ones who are pressuring you and using whatever they can possibly do to pressure you to keep collecting on that debt. And then we have the credit reporting agencies not updating your trade line, your credit report status, and I'll tell you how that happens. What happens a lot of times is the creditors will be, they'll be reporting a particular trade line on an ongoing basis. When they receive the notice of the petition for bankruptcy, when they receive notice that you filed bankruptcy, they will just stop the reporting on the trade line as opposed to updating it. So what happens at the credit bureau level is that, let's say it's been reporting 60 days late, 90 days late, whatever, and then the furnisher, the creditor, Visa card, stops reporting it. It's kind of frozen in amber up at the credit bureau level. The credit bureau will continue to report it as 60 or 90 days late, whatever the last reporting was, because the creditor never updated it. So you've got a situation where, particularly with the Chapter 7, you're supposed to get a fresh start. With debt collection, you're supposed to get a fresh start with credit reporting. For a variety of reasons, some of them just negligent and accidental, some of them malicious. A lot of times the debts will continue to be reported even after they've been discharged in bankruptcy. And yes, this can affect your ability to get back on your feet and to get your life back to normal and to get the fresh start that you originally went for when you filed for bankruptcy in the first place. Just so you know, my firm is handling more and more, because there's a lot of it. My firm is handling more and more post-bankruptcy credit reporting problems and also post-bankruptcy wrongful debt collection problems. Right now it's a very, very big issue in our culture. If you have any questions about this, please give us a call. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.